Hi, I'm Charlie with Coaching with Charlie. I wanted to do a series of videos on life lessons, things that I wish I had learned sooner in life. These are things that we all have probably heard before, but they may not have really sunk in. Sometimes it takes hearing them multiple times in multiple ways to really get it. So if you'd like to see all the videos in this series, just check them out on my profile and keep checking back to make sure that you catch them all. Why didn't they tell me that when I was younger? That's a question that I've asked myself many times about many different things. Time has lessons to teach all of us. Eventually, as we pass through our lives, we understand things that we previously didn't know. The child that has to deal with the loss of a beloved pet for the first time is taught valuable lessons about grieving, and wise parents prepare that child beforehand. The teenager taking a driving exam is taught that even the best preparation might end in failure. Then they have to wait a certain number of days before they're allowed to take the exam again. The person buying a house for the first time will learn a lot that they didn't consider before making that big of a decision. Things like maintenance and upkeep, homeowners insurance, dealing with loud and unruly neighbors, they can all be more than the first time home buyer bargained for. But lessons are learned and life moves on. In all of these cases, wouldn't it have been great if the lessons were taught earlier in life? Imagine if important life skills that aren't covered in school were taught to our children and teenagers. They would be better armed for those common life experiences. They wouldn't have to learn things like that by frustrating trial and error. This might have you thinking, why didn't anyone tell me this stuff when I was younger? Well, that's a good question, but since we can't go back in time, all we can do is try to prevent this situation in the future. So here are a few things you can do so you don't have to ask yourself that regretful question as often in the coming years. The first thing is to talk to your elders. Regardless of your age, there might be a few things around the corner that can cause stress, frustration, and possibly even financial loss. What if you could prepare for them now? You can do exactly that by talking to people older than you, people who have been through those things. This works at any age. Get someone you trust that's 10 or 20 years older than you and ask them for their advice. Ask them about mistakes that they made or regrets that they have because they weren't prepared for some of life's hardships that might be on your horizon. People older than you can offer wonderful advice that can prepare you for a more successful future. And the flip side of that is to be that person for somebody younger than you also. Offer them advice. The next thing is go back to school. Now we're only talking figuratively, although you can do that literally too. I went back to school in my 40s and ended up with 3 degrees and working on my 4th one. But head to the library, log into your Amazon account, get your hands on some books. There are so many good books that help you deal with all the different stages of your life. Doing a little bit of studying about what you're going to encounter in your future is akin to getting the winning lottery numbers ahead of time. It's planning for your future. And remember that all things pass. Life will inevitably surprise you, even if you try to prepare yourself for what you might encounter. When this happens, and it inevitably will, remember that everything has a lifetime. The most terrible lessons life teaches you aren't forever. Learn what you can from them, work to accept and heal, and move on. In hardship, tell yourself, this too shall pass. These are just a few simple tips to minimize the number of surprises life will give you. It's not anything groundbreaking or earth-shattering. These are things that you've probably been told before, but again, sometimes it takes hearing them in multiple ways at multiple times to let them sink in. So they're not going to totally eliminate the power of the inevitable change to cause stress and strife in your life, but they will prepare you for some of the sting your future life experiences have planned for you. Again, I'm Charlie with Coaching with Charlie. To see more information about topics like this, you can visit my website at www.coachingwithcharlie.com.